Back everyone, 6:42 on Daybreak, and it's time for this week's Unknown Story of Western New York.
Story of a local woman who made a huge life change and history at the same time. She went from being a nun to being one of the FBI's first ever female special agents.
Joanne Pierce grew up in Niagara Falls and after attending Niagara University, entered the Sisters of Mercy Convent. Ultimately, she found herself teaching here at Mount Mercy Academy in South Buffalo.
Well, she was very thorough in whatever she did. I think that was a very nice trait. She was very thorough, she was very approachable, and she was a good listener.
Sisters Margaret Mary Gorman, Marie Andre Main, and Sharon Erickson all taught with Sister Joanne and have fond memories.
Every night after we'd have a hard day teaching, we'd go upstairs in the convent and we would play games. She always wanted to play Clue. That was
a clue.
Yeah, it should have been a clue.
In a 2012 interview, the now married Joanne Pierce Misko recalled her days teaching and the day her future changed.
I had been teaching school, and I met an FBI agent who came to our school doing recruiting, and I talked to him.
When you heard that she was going to the FBI, that must have raised an eyebrow or two.
No, I was very proud of her. And I was not really surprised because you could see she had potential.
It soon Joanne's supervisors at the Bureau saw that potential as well. She joined the FBI as a researcher at the Training Academy in 1970. But when the position of special agent opened to females in 1972, she jumped at the chance.
I loved the work that I was doing. I enjoyed it immensely. And then this just happened. So it wasn't something that I had been planning to do or I thought was going to happen.
This former nun from the Falls was about to become one of the very first female special agents in FBI history.
First case I had, we went out to get the guy, and he found out that we were looking for him, and he called back into the office. He was incensed that a woman was being sent out to get him.
She had to overcome many things, attitude toward women in the workforce, as well as the physical testing. She rose to every occasion and paved the way for so many others, like Sandra Birchtold.
Things is, they polygraph all of us,
Right.
Before we get the jobs. And I'm like, well, maybe that made her easier to get in if she was a nun.
Birchtold is the supervisory special agent of the White Collar Squad in the Rochester branch of the Buffalo Field Office. She is one of 3 women in supervisory positions in Buffalo.
I read that her supervisor accepted her immediately. I think that put a lot of clout behind her, that the supervisor accepted her and assigned her the hard cases, and she was able to prove herself.
Agent Birchtold says Joanne Pierce was a trailblazer.
But to take on a class and walk into a room with only one other female, that's intimidating. That takes a lot of courage.
I honestly didn't see myself as a pioneer, It was just a role that I had been fortunate enough to become a part of, and I just was carrying out the role of a special agent.
Yeah, and she now lives in Arizona with her husband, another former special agent. So, but the 2 trailblazers, Joanne and Susan Rowley Malone, were affectionately called the Nun and the Marine by their fellow agents. So, but I mean, you got to have a lot of guts and a lot of chutzpah to enter that field.
And some would say that some nuns can be pretty scary growing up, so switching from that maybe scary role as a nun to becoming a special agent.
Absolutely.
They kind of could go hand in hand.
A badge, a gun, and a ruler, All right, it is 6.